Welcome back to another video from graveyarddance.com. This week, we have a very interesting UFO story that a lot of you probably has never heard of. We've all probably heard the story about the Roswell alien crash of 1947, but what many people probably isn't aware of, it wasn't the first known UFO crash of an alien craft here in the United States. There was another that many say was heavily covered up in 1941. Cape Girardeau, Missouri is currently a pretty good-sized college town with a population just under 40,000, set in a rural farming area of southeast Missouri. Unlike a lot of big cities, it's an overall safe place to go to school, and further your education, and there's lots of fun things to do like swimming, gambling, shopping, or taking a leisurely ride on a riverboat. If you're into agriculture or farming, it's a wonderful place to live and raise a family. In the early 40s though, it wasn't as spread out as it is now and not nearly as populated, so it's a mystery why aliens from outer space would choose a humble farm town like Cape Girardeau to make its first known visit, but that's just what happened in the summer of '41. Unfortunately for the aliens though, I don't think it was a scheduled or planned visit, as you'll soon come to find out. There's not a lot of records to really go on to find out exactly what day this happened, but we do know the spot where it crashed, which is this field right here, which is located just west of Cape near the small town of Chaffee, Missouri. Supposedly, according to local lore, the Reverend William Huffman, who was a pastor at the Red Star Baptist Church in Cape, was awakened late one night to come to the site of an airplane crash to deliver the last rites to the crash's deceased. As he pulled up to the accident site, to say it wasn't what he expected would have been a complete understatement. You have to remember, in those days, there was no internet or cable TV with thousands of channels blasting sci-fi 24 hours a day. Star Trek hadn't even became a thing yet. The Roswell alien crash of 1947 would still be 6 years away, so seeing or hearing about aliens from another world was unheard of. As Reverend Huffman walked up to the site, the first thing he noticed was that the crash was definitely not an airplane by any means. It was a completely round craft with no wings that was crashed into the soil of the field and had been ripped apart. He had never seen anything like it and was quite naturally flabbergasted at what he was seeing. His mouth was probably literally jaw-dropped, but when he turned around to see the passengers, it would have probably scared him half to death. Lying on the ground was two barely 4-foot tall things that had a body similar to a human, but about the size of a small child. Their heads was what probably shocked him the most though. They looked too big for their bodies, and they were gray with tiny slits for mouths and barely any nose at all. Their eyes were huge and solid black. Another creature was there as well, clinging to life, but slowly faded and died as he watched in utter shock. He did what he came to do though. He provided the last rites to the alien creatures as if he would have any other person who had passed in his presence, but was immediately met with military personnel who immediately came with a growing crowd of onlookers and started taking away anyone's cameras and looking for anyone who had any pieces of the alien craft and confiscated it right away. It was clear that they meant business. They were said to have threatened everyone to keep their mouths shut about the incident and that it was a matter of national security. Even the police at the time were threatened to keep it under wraps. The local newspapers at the time were even prevented from talking about the incident. Reverend Huffman kept the story to himself all the way up to his deathbed until he eventually told friends and family of what happened all those years ago. Huffman's granddaughter reached out to Paul Blake Smith, who wrote the book on the incident called Mo 41, The Bombshell Before Roswell. He, as well as modern-day TV news KFES 12, has reached out to the FBI for information regarding the event. They've also reached out to the Air Force, but both deny knowing anything or having any information on the subject. Many local residents have family members who were there and saw the crash. Unfortunately, many have passed on with old age. Since the Cape Girardeau incident, there have been many other reputable sightings of UFOs, most recently having been the Phoenix Lights of 1997. They were seen by thousands of people all across the state of Arizona and into New Mexico, Another thing to make you wonder about is the supposed cattle mutilations that is often seen at the sites where UFOs are seen or have been. They are often done in a way that no known medical person would know how. Could that have been the reason they were flying over a heavily farm-related area? There's also since then been many heavily documented cases of alien abductions, such as the Travis Walton case and the Betty and Barney Hill cases, both of which we have done videos on. Just go to our channel and click videos and scroll back for those, or we'll leave links to them in the description box below. What do you think? Did an alien spaceship crash in Missouri in 1941? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Also, it's cold outside, pick up a graveyard dance hoodie in our shop or a cool new graveyard dance shirt. We'll put a link in the description box. If you like our content, we hope you'll tell your friends. Share it by word of mouth, Facebook, Twitter or however you can. I can't tell you how much I appreciate y'all. A huge thanks again. Till next time.